So guys, a few of you actually asked what is the best, most profitable app to use for phone farming, while others have actually asked, I have 0 phones and I have no idea what to do, so well, what do I do? So you know what guys, I decided to create a mini course for phone farming, and it's only $399 if you want to pick it up. Link is in the description.
Here in my garage. Knowledge.
I'm just kidding, by the way. Yeah guys, it's totally free, it's all in this video. Let's get right into it. Let's go. So yes guys, this video will be a little longer than usual. And also guys, if you're already into phone farming, don't worry, we have a bunch of tips for you and probably some useful information that yes, you will find helpful. So make sure you guys stay tuned throughout the entire video. We're breaking this video down, or mini course, whatever you want to call it, into 4 different sections. So first we got the essentials, which is pretty much what you do at the very beginning. I'll leave some timestamps down below if you want to go ahead and click those. Skip to the parts where you find useful. I don't know, if you find everything useful, then watch the entire thing. I would suggest watching the entire thing because watch time. Anyways guys, jokes aside, we got 4 different sections of this video. So guys, in the first section we're going to go over the essentials, meaning which apps you need to be using because those are the most profitable apps. In the second section we'll go on to extras, which will explain a few apps that you guys can use to boost your earnings. It won't make you the most amount of money, but you know what? It will make you some, and it's great for having on the side because, well, extra money. Then for the third section, we'll be talking about expansion, which is pretty much what happens when you want to expand the phone farm, which apps should I be using, and yeah, just stuff like that. And finally guys, we'll have a section for tips, which will be useful tips that you, yes you, all of you guys can utilize to maximize your earnings on your phone farm. And yeah guys, so basically, let's get right into it. Section number 1. Essentials right here. So it's really easy to start guys. You only really need 200 bucks roughly. 300 bucks would be ideal, but you know what, you can work with any amount really. Well, as long as it's over 30 bucks. So the ideal budget would be around $300. That way you guys can get your 10 phones, which is what I recommend starting off with. So like I was saying guys, when starting off, I would actually suggest getting only 10 phones because, well, right now phone farming isn't too hot, if you know what I mean. Basically guys, the earnings aren't the greatest, not as good as it used to be. Now with 10 phones, you're actually able to make a nice profit and continue making some decent passive income. So if you guys are just starting off, anywhere between 10 to 15 phones is good. And yeah, that's my recommendations for how many phones you guys should be getting. Now moving along to the apps, what should you be putting on those 10 to 15 phones? Well, let's get right into it guys. So starting off, we have Cash Magnet, one of my favorite apps to use because of how consistent it is. So yeah guys, Cash Magnet actually has a small limit to it, which is 4 devices per Wi-Fi. So make sure you guys don't go over that, otherwise you risk being banned. Moving along, we have Honey Game, which is an app that pays you for data collection, and that allows you up to 3 devices per Wi-Fi. Going over that will result in, you know, no payments. They will stop paying you, so make sure you only run it on 3 phones. And lastly, on our list of essentials, we got Swagbucks and the other Swagbucks apps, which are all linked in the description for you guys, by the way. And that has a device limit of 3 per Wi-Fi. So yes guys, there are 6 different Swagbucks apps that you guys can be using, but make sure you guys only download 2 apps per phone because you can have a limit of 3, otherwise, well, you risk being banned like I said. So if that's a little confusing, essentially guys, what you're doing is downloading 2 apps, 2 separate Swagbucks apps, and putting that on 1 phone, and then you do that times 3, which is equivalent to 6 apps, because 2, 4, 6, right? And guys, obviously if you have 10 phones, you're going to need some chargers. I mean, unless you spread them all across your house, which wouldn't really make sense. So yeah guys, I would recommend getting a few power bars, or maybe just 1 charging station that has 10 slots for different phones. And yeah, that's pretty much it for essentials.
Alright guys, so basically my camera ran out of batteries, and so now I decided to put together a small slideshow type deal so that I can actually finish up this video today. So continuing from where we left off, we were about to finish essentials. So guys, a quick summary for essentials: you guys want at least 10 phones or work towards 10 phones. And on top of that, I forgot to mention earlier is that you guys should probably get some phones that are Android 6.0 and up, and preferably 16 gigabytes worth of storage at least. Try to aim for 32 gigabytes. If you can't, then yeah, get that 16 gigabyte storage. And for apps, we decided to go with 4 cache magnets, 3 honey gains, 3 swag bucks, 1 charger station because you're gonna kind of need that. Maybe even just 2 power bars will do it because you know you don't need anything fancy, nothing too expensive to start off with. It is more organized if you get a actual charger station, but you know what, it's optional, up to you guys. If you want to stay organized, go ahead and get a little charging station. If not, yeah. Moving along, we have our phone setup, which I've totally forgot to mention in the first part of the video, so you know what, let's actually go over that right now. I will play a clip of how to do that as we speak. Okay guys, so the first thing you want to do is actually open up your settings, then scroll down and find About Phone. Once you actually go ahead and click About Phone, it will take you guys to the About section where you guys will look for, I believe it's called software information. From there you'll find a build number. So as you guys can see, this is my build number. All you have to do, tap this 7 times in total, and there we go guys. That will activate developer mode, which you will need to keep your phones running. Now if we go ahead and scroll down, you guys can see we have developer options now enabled, and we can actually go ahead and click this one right here, stay awake, and that is it. So when you go ahead and select that, your screen will not turn off while charging, which is useful if you're doing any phone farming because, well, if your phone turns off, you're not making anything. So make sure you guys go ahead and do that as soon as you get your phones, because the worst thing you can do is leave it running for like an hour, come back in the next morning and find it all, you know, asleep. So yeah guys, that is how we would set up the phones at the very beginning if you guys don't already know how to. Moving along, we are going to the extras, which is basically apps that you will use to boost your earnings. Now these apps here are for boosting your earnings. They're not necessarily the best for, you know, phone farming by itself, but you know what, when you combine it with other apps, that's when you can actually boost your earnings and get more out of your phone farm. So starting off, we have the Panel app, which, if you guys don't already know, is a data collection app and is really simple to use. You just download it, set it, and forget it. Next up, we have SlideJoy, which is an app that actually places an ad on your homepage of your phone. When you turn it on, you'll find an app on there, or sorry, an ad on there, and from there you'll go ahead and just swipe right and you're off. And each time you do that, so basically whenever you turn off your phone and turn it back on, you'll earn some points. And it's like, why not? We're gonna have to swipe a, you know, home screen anyways, so might as well get paid for it. Moving along, we have MB Mobile. Now this app may or may not be available to you depending on which device you're using. With MB Mobile, you can actually earn a decent amount. You will be paid anywhere from 5 to 20 cents every single day just for having the app on your phone. It is another data collection app. Keep in mind, when you're using a phone farm phone, make sure you guys actually stay away from banking or anything sensitive, because you do not want any of your sensitive information on there. So next up, we have Cash for SMS, and yes, I did do a video for this app by itself. Now if you guys want to go ahead and watch that, make sure you go ahead and click that link in the description for you guys. I'll set it up there. In that video, I'll be explaining this app in depth and actually showing you guys how to use it. But essentially here, I'm just going to do a quick summary. Basically, this app utilizes your phone number and sends out a bunch of texts, which they will eventually pay you for. Now what you can do with this app is, if you actually have a cheap provider in your area, you can actually go ahead and purchase multiple plans for your phone farming phones, and then go ahead and download this app on every single phone. That way you can maximize profits. This app is actually making quite a bit, so I don't know why it's in extras. It should be in essentials, but the only reason is it requires a phone number. So for those of you that don't want to actually go out there and purchase a bunch of plans, then just go ahead and put it on your personal phone. That's what I'm doing right now. I don't know, dude. Like, if you have a cheap plan, you can get it. If not, just run it on your personal phone. And if you don't want to and you don't feel safe about it, it's fine. Pass up on the offer move on. And finally guys, we have Google Opinion Rewards under our Extras tab, and despite the misleading name of the app, it is available on Apple and Android for all users guys. Now actually, I'm just throwing it out there, I personally like this app more on Apple, simply because you actually get paid through PayPal instead. On Android you'll be receiving Google Play credits, which yeah, if you want to go ahead and buy some, I don't know, ebooks, games, in-game purchases, whatever you guys want. So yeah guys, if you want some extra cash just to spend, go ahead and download Google Opinion Rewards. Now how this app works is basically you're going to be able to answer a bunch of surveys, and they're not long surveys, they're literally like 2 questions long, and you cannot get disqualified. Furthermore, for each question you'll be rewarded with anywhere between 10 to 15 cents into your account. So whenever you're servicing your phones, you guys can actually find a few surveys on Google Opinion Rewards and just take them real quick. It will take less than 20 seconds of your time, and I think it's worth it, so I don't know. It's up to you guys. Moving along, we have expansion, which is basically what happens when you guys want to actually expand your phone farm. Now first off, what I want to say is you guys don't want to expand it too much. Currently I have 50 phones, which is way too much for phone farming, but the only reason why I kept it is because, well, I can't really sell these phones since they're all like carrier locked. So basically guys, I'm stuck with these phones, but you know what, it's fine, they already made their money back and some more, so I just left them running on a few different apps. And if not, they're just sitting idle. Anyways, getting into the actual expansion, basically guys, if you want to go ahead and get 15 to 20 phones, which is the max that I would say you should get, what you want to do is actually download current music, which is able to run on 2 devices. Now the only problem with this app is it will only run up to like an hour passively, then you gotta have to go ahead and click yes, I'm still watching or listening. But don't worry guys, I have an upcoming video that will explain how to use an auto clicker to solve that problem. So make sure you guys go ahead and stay tuned for that. It will be up on my channel, I don't know, like pretty soon. Moving along, we have FitPlay apps, which if you don't already know include like FitPlay, Cash Alarm, app like Money Roar, and Lucky Miner, etc. There's a whole bunch of them. Oh, and by the way, all these apps that I mentioned, all the links will be in the description for you guys to click on and download. And if you use the link in the description, most of these apps will actually give you guys a sign up bonus, so make sure you guys go ahead and do that. And finally, on our expansion list, we got BuzzBreaks. Now if you don't know what BuzzBreaks is, this is not a passive app by the way, but you can run unlimited devices. So basically what BuzzBreaks is it's a news type app where you actually have to scroll through some news, and when you guys do that, you'll be able to earn some points from it. Now like I said, it is not passive, but it can be guys if you use a auto clicker. Now I'll show you guys how to set that up in the next video. But for now guys, go ahead and download these apps, get them ready if you have some extra phones lying around. Also guys, there's another website that I forgot to mention on here on the expansion list, and that is Hideout TV, which can be run on 1 device per Wi-Fi. But yeah guys, if you have an extra device sitting around, go ahead and actually run Hideout TV. And it's basically a website where you just view a bunch of content passively, and it will play an ad once in a while, which rewards you with some points. Anyways guys, moving to the last section of this video, we got tips. So where should you be buying these phones? If you want to buy more to expand your phone farm, or if you're just getting started, where should you buy them? Well, personally, I've been buying them from Amazon.com for the longest time, and let me tell you, don't do that. I mean, you could, but it's really not the best deal. Like, you're getting a okay, not really good phone. Like a decent phone would cost you $50 at least on Amazon.com. Keep in mind that these things are new, but I mean, if you're just using it for phone farming, you really don't need a new phone. So that is where eBay comes in. I usually go over to eBay and look through their seller refurbished or used section. Also guys, a quick tip is on eBay, make sure you guys go ahead and check out the for parts section. That's because sellers will actually go ahead and categorize their phone as for parts even though it's working. So make sure you guys go ahead and check that out. You guys can actually get a few cracked phones. Like if the screen is cracked, who cares, as long as make sure it connects to Wi-Fi, it gets, you know, has power and it can turn on, and that's pretty much all you need really. Also, you guys can get phones with locked carriers. It doesn't really matter, I have a bunch of them like that, but unless you're using cash for SMS, it really doesn't matter because they're not utilizing your carriers anyways. Now the next tip I have for you guys is for verification purposes. Now if you guys don't already know, FitPlay, AppLike, and those apps, and maybe even some of the other apps out there, will require a verification code, which means every time you actually redeem, or the first time you redeem on that phone, it will actually ask you for a verification code. And to get this verification code, they will ask you for a phone number, and then you have to go ahead and enter that code in once they send it to your phone. Now here's the only problem though, guys. You can only use one phone number per account. And trust me guys, I have 5 phones running on FitPlay, and there was this one time when I actually tried redeeming 2 of them, and I used the same phone number for both verification codes, which by the way resulted in me getting banned. So what you guys don't want to do is use the same phone number over and over and over again for verification, because you're just going to get yourselves banned. But guys, I found a way around this, and it's through an app called Text Now, which will be linked in the description like I said. And this app allows you to actually grab a free phone number, and from there you guys can actually send the verification code to that number, and then once you enter it in, you can go ahead and delete that number and get a new number after that, and then you just continue doing that process. And this verification code, at least for FitPlay, is only required when the first time you redeem on the phone. So technically you do not need that phone number once you put in the code, because FitPlay will only require it once at the very beginning when you first redeem. Anyways guys, moving along, we have a quick tip right here about organization. So what you guys want to do is actually number off your phones. Maybe just put some tape, that's what I do, put some masking tape at the back of the phones, and then write a number on it. Now this way you'll be able to actually tell which phones are performing better, and overall you'll just find it more organized and easy to use. And speaking of organization, what you guys want to do is actually track your profits. Make sure you guys do that because it's kind of important. So what you guys want to do is actually run a spreadsheet, either on Excel, which is what I do, or you guys could do the old-fashioned way, which is a pen and a paper, or pencil and a paper. It's up to you guys, but basically what you guys want to do here is take your phone with the number attached to the back of it and name it something. I don't know, I just number my phones from 1 to 50, and from there you guys can go ahead and say phone 50 made, let's say $5, then you would put that down. What you guys would write down would be phone is equal to 50, aka 50. I don't know why I said 50, but basically guys, phone 50 made, let's say $5, and you would write $5 next to it, and then you can put a dash or something and say which app it made it from. Also make sure to include the date so that you know when your payment will be arriving. Also, another useful thing about spreadsheets is it will not only tell you guys how much you're making, but it can actually tell you when your phones will pay off, so you guys will be able to tell whether or not your investment was actually a good one. Anyways, moving along guys, we have a little cash magnet section tips thing. I don't know what you call it, but basically guys, some people were saying that they were having trouble with cash magnet. Now one major problem that they were explaining was not being able to log in after a while. So you know what, I'm gonna show you guys how you guys can actually solve that problem right now. So guys, as you guys can see right here, this is my cash magnet account. Now right now there's nothing wrong with it, but usually some people will say, oh, it's server connection error or something, right, and you can't sign in. Now the first thing you want to do is actually head over to settings, scroll down to apps, maybe right here, there we go. And then what you're going to do is click on app info. As soon as this loads, you guys will go ahead and find cash magnet, which should be somewhere here, there we go. And from there what you guys are going to do is go ahead and click the storage. From here we're just going to go ahead and click clear data, click OK, and that is pretty much it. Now if you go over to the cash magnet app again and reopen it, you guys should be able to log in as usual. So here we are guys, right here. As you guys can see, all we have to do is click sign in with Google. That's what I signed up with. By the way, that's a much easier way to do it, because as you guys can see, you just click that button and off it goes. Literally, you don't need to input any password, nothing. It's very simple. That's all you have to do. So I do recommend signing up with Google, and after you sign in, the app will kind of crash, and from there you just reopen it. And once you go ahead and actually reopen it, your account should be back, as you guys can see right there. And that is just how you solve the not being able to sign in problem. And that brings me to the next point, which is cash magnet optimization. So what you guys want to do is actually go ahead and click on your level. If you haven't already, you want to go ahead and level this up to level 6 at least. And once you guys get to level 6, which is really simple, all you have to do to get to here is complete level 3, and level 3 is completed through just running the app for 60 hours in total. So once you guys have done that, level 3 should be unlocked, and what you're going to do is actually go over to level 6. It's very simple. Click proceed to level 6. From here, you're just going to allow these settings, and from here it will bring you guys to settings, which you can actually go ahead and just enable. Just click on as so, turn on, and that is it. Level 6 right there, as you guys can see. So if we go ahead and head back over to Cash Magnet, you guys can see we have gotten level 6 again, and that is how you level up. Make sure you guys actually level up because you make a lot more once you reach to level 6. And finally guys, we got one more tip for Cash Magnet, and that is once you reach level 6, it will automatically start downloading apps for you. But the problem guys is you'll run out of storage if you don't have much storage on your phone, which you most likely won't. So what you want to do is actually head over to games, and if you scroll down, you guys can see right here there'll be a watch and install section. Now I already kind of optimized this phone because I do check it regularly, but you know what, this one right here has one game that you guys can actually uninstall. Sorry, my bad. Now as you guys can see in this watch and install section right here, right, there will be usually a ton of apps that you guys can uninstall, but right now there's only one. So what you guys do is just click that uninstall and click OK, and that is it. Literally, that's how you do it. And now your phone should be optimized. There you guys go. You see that red exclamation mark just disappeared, and you're ready for passive earnings once again. Just click that blue start button and off you go. Alright guys, so that is pretty much it for today's mini course, whatever you want to call it. It was a little longer video, I guess you could say, but yeah, it is what it is. So yeah guys, if you want more videos like this, make sure you go ahead and drop a like down below. Make sure to subscribe as well. I'll see you all in the next video. Until then, thank you guys so very much for watching. This is a little bit weird with a webcam, because usually I sign out with the webcam, but you know what, today it's a little bit different. So thank you guys so very much for watching. Peace out for now, guys.